everybody! Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Tulip. I'm so excited because I finally unlocked terraforming and I'm about to do my first build in like 2 months. Hi, by the way, I hope you're doing well. My theme for this island is a mix of like tropical and granny. Here are some of the custom designs that I've chosen. A couple of these have already changed so far, like these bricks. I don't know how to use them. I'm not smart enough. I've got my crochet. I love this border, the terracotta, and some fabulous tiles, along with a couple of like granny touches. But without further ado, I did start terraforming off camera because I literally couldn't help myself. I want to show you an update on who we have on the island. So we have Bob and Fang, who are definitely staying. I got Shep and Marshall and Barbara and Bud. I also went ahead and moved the museum like right to the back. I'm going to make that some sort of like, I don't even know, but I just wanted it to be back there. But let's get into the build. This was a little difficult for me. That might be an understatement, but for some reason I had a lot of anxiety about building this. I haven't, like I said earlier, I have not made a build in like 2 months or so. So I was really nervous to get started. That's probably why I got started a little bit off camera, just to like remind myself that I could do it. But I'm starting off like most people do by building up my cliffs. My focus here is to try to, I want cascading waterfalls, like I want an epic entrance because we're making like a resort type location. So my thinking is those places are gonna have like a fabulous entrance with like really awe-inspiring like visuals. So I keep coming to the front to see how it's gonna look from the front because, you know, in theory, people will visit your island from the airport. However, the dream address is just, it'll just be a quick jaunt over these little hills. I like terraforming. It is just so time consuming. So I do try to cut out a little bit of this. So here I'm building a part that is kind of really symmetrical, and I realize I don't like that. So we're gonna try to fix the front of this to make it look natural, but also kind of strategic to where the waterfalls will be, the waterfalls won't all line up perfectly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's what I'm working on here. I'm by no means an expert at any of this. I just am kind of winging it and going off what I think is going to look good. So you'll see me go back and forth a lot, but like looking at it from the airport, I get up and down off this cliff about 100 times in this video because I keep having to fix stuff. Part of me, like, once and for all wants to count out like how many blocks you need for like how many blocks the base needs to be for the second level and the third level, but I don't like math. So you see this line is too straight, so I got to try to mix that up a little bit and differentiate it from the bottom layer. Most of this cliff stuff that I'm building is actually not even going to be visible from the entrance, but I think it does show up in the flyover, so I do want it to be pretty. The cliffs and stuff will be mostly natural, as you'll see, like just like trees and plants and stuff, but I figured, you know, I've got to build it up now. What else am I going to do with it? So I went and got my incline marker, and I'm going to install this, pay the man, and come back on the next day. So let's watch a little bit of this and I'll come back. Okay, so it's the next day in the game and I am trying to get down my path from the airport to this ramp. I adore this brick pattern. I really wanted to use it, so you'll see me really struggle to place it down because the pieces make sense. I think I just am inexperienced with this type of pattern. Again, I love this creator. Their stuff is amazing. One of the challenges with this build was like trying to do something different than what I always do, which is like more rustic, rundown type things. So I'm putting this out there and I'm realizing this kind of looks like, this doesn't really give me tropical per se. So then I go ahead and like write over it with this green path, which I also think is beautiful. But then I'm wondering, like, a resort, are you really going to be walking on grass? So I'm going to let that sit for a little while and just get started on my waterfalls, which is another challenge unto itself. There's a lot of the waterfall building portion that I cut because the struggle was incredibly real. And I didn't know if I should show all of that. If you're watching this, let me know in the comments, like, do you prefer to see like the full struggle, or do you want to just see like the most relevant material? Like, do you just want to see the parts where like the person is like successful, or is it helpful to see like mistakes and how they get corrected? I could go for either version. I just didn't want to be too like indulgent with like, oh, look at, anyway, maybe I'm overthinking it, but you can definitely let me know. One of the problems with waterfalls though, I think, is like, I don't like the logical side of my brain does not like that they just appear out of nowhere on the edge of a cliff. So I was trying to make like little bodies of water that they could theoretically, like the water could be coming from. But in the end, I chose like aesthetics over logic, which, I mean, hello, it's a video game, so like it's all good. I was trying for like a long time to make this part do a little swoopy, but I think I needed a little bit more space on the second level. Oops. So I'll eventually fix this, but let's sit back and watch me struggle with waterfalls just a little bit. Okay, so I moved on from the waterfalls and back to my path and realized that I should try a sandy path. This was literally the first one that I saw, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. However, I do love it. I think it's really cute. I like the way the path is multi-toned, like kind of the sand on the beaches in Animal Crossing, so I definitely think it fits way more than the other two. So I'm really happy that I didn't stick with something that I knew I wasn't happy with, you know, that I went and found another path. So now we're going to start to put down some trees, shrubs, and flowers. This is kind of like the second or third layer. So you do your terraforming and your water, then you do your paths, and now you got to put down your trees and stuff. And for this island, I am trying to incorporate palm trees and bamboo to give it that tropical vibe. And look at the way this border just, it just is so fabulous. And this border can go with almost any theme, I feel like, maybe not kidcore or whatever, but that white brick or that white stone is just wonderful. And then this jute sunflower design is so amazing. I love jute. So I got this little round jute mat as well. And now when I put this stuff down, like, I feel like it's coming together. Like, I'm feeling like I can do this. I can do tropical. I can do, I can make my little resort like the way that I see it in my head. So I'm working on the top of this cliff, putting in some trees. Normally I work with full grown trees because I always second guess myself about whether or not the trees like are gonna grow where they grow. Like, I know they need 9 tiles around, but sometimes the rounded corners like get me. But anyway, I'll be putting these trees together, popping in some flowers and stuff like that. Another thing that's been on my mind lately is recurring dreams. There's a couple of motifs that always show up in my dreams, and I'm curious if you're watching this, if you have certain recurring dreams that you could quickly think of. Like, things that show up a lot in mine are like, well, I have a lot of like work related stress dreams, like being late to work or being unprepared. I also have these horrible nightmares where my students like are not listening or something like that, and I have to like yell at them to get them to be quiet or something. It's like so awful. Like, that's not realistic. The other kind of dream I have that's more personal is like, I always have this dream I'm like going on vacation or I'm going somewhere, I'm like packing, and the packing part takes forever. Like, I'm packing, I can't figure out what to bring. Like, I feel like that means something, but what does it mean? When I was a kid, I had dreams like of being able to fly and flying too high, like stuff like that. I always had dreams about like our car driving me around. Or I'd have dreams of like driving vertically, like straight up. But that packing dream has been on my mind. I'm just wondering what the heck that means. Hi, Merceau. I recently, okay, excuse me. Merceau is here. He would like attention. Hi. You gonna say anything? He's just staring at me. Anyway, so here I am getting distracted by some cliff trees. Thank God for this glitch. I love it so much. And I was pleasantly surprised that I'm still able to do it. I get nervous about this thing too. If you can't tell, based on the amount of times I've mentioned it, I have major, like, general anxiety disorder and social anxiety, which doesn't really affect my teaching too much, but it definitely hinders my life a little bit. But anyway, so now Gulliver is right outside my door. Excuse me, Merceau. And I just thought that was rude. Now we're going to, okay, I'm trying to, Merceau's back. I'm trying to stunt that tree. Obviously it wasn't working. So whatever, it's just going to be full size. That's fine. That's fine. And now I'm getting real tired of climbing up here several times, but I know I'll be back. I know I'll be back. I'm trying to fill this up, like I said, with flowers, weeds, bushes, and custom designs. I am going to try to push myself to use more items that I usually don't, like, Marcel, move. Sorry, he just fully bumped the microphone. I am going to try to use designs that I don't normally use, or not designs, well, yes, designs, but items that I don't normally use, like the natural stuff. Okay, this might sound a little crazy, but it did not occur to me until I was looking for custom designs that all my talk about building like a retirement community in Florida was basically the same thing as like a tropical island, with maybe slightly like a couple of city vibes here and there. It wasn't until then that I realized I needed to be looking for tropical stuff. So you could see, like, with those early paths that I was picking out, like, those aren't really tropical. And now I found these fabulous tiles. Look at that, is beautiful. And that, like, really makes me excited. Like, that, I think, says a lot about what I'm trying to do here. I also had to get a couple of items made. On the topic of using stuff that I don't normally use, I fully restarted my Switch. If you saw my first couple of videos, you know that, but I don't have anything. And on my Switch Lite Island on Jessamine, I have nothing either because I restarted there too. So I'm really in a crunch for like stuff. I did save up some stuff, but like DIYs, like I have not a lot of things that I know are out there. There's a couple of things in this build that like I substituted for like that are temporary until I find what I actually want. A couple of things I know I need are the infused water dispenser, the coconut juice drink thing, and like the little fruit basket, and like more shell items. So like right here, I'm trying to see what works there. I eventually want it to be the water dispenser, but that picture will do for now. Also, I do need to find some more like signs. That leaf sign is temporary. The use of the single piece of fence, such a great move. I love it. I got that balloon and I got this. Okay, why can't I think of words right now? Anyway, so it's the next day and of course it's like super dark and rainy, but we're almost done, which is really exciting. So these are the greatest planks of all time. Like, I don't want to hear any contrary opinions. These are simply the best. And since we have 100 design slots, I can have those, I can have 2 paths, I can have everything I want. But I love these. So all I'm doing right now is kind of showing you how you don't have to go straight up and over. You can go to either side. And then I thought I might fill this out a little bit, but one thing with my island is I don't, so like I've mentioned before, excuse me, Marcel, sorry, give me 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Anyway, one thing I've mentioned before is that like I actually, oh my God, Marcel. It's wonderful to be loved, but I don't know what to do when I'm recording. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Also, I could cut. Maybe I will. One thing about my builds is that I do want them to be functional. That little pathway going to the left and right, that's because like I frequently play the game, like I'll be fishing or I'll just like go around in a circle. So another thing that I did off camera was terraform the back of my island so that there's a path that I can go like all the way around it basically. I can go all the way around my island, that is. So here I'm putting on some finishing touches for this little intermediary location at the top here. Oh, this is a super painful part where I'm looking for this mini table or whatever and I can't find it. Like I'm looking all over the place for it, and I finally find it. I just didn't see it because it was yellow, I guess. And I'm gonna put a ukulele here for now, I think, but that'll be like the coconut juice eventually. So the idea is like, welcome to Shady Pine. Have some juice and enjoy your stay. And by enjoy your stay, I mean enjoy your home, because you live here forever now, because you are in a retirement community. So let's take a look at the conclusion of me trying to fill out this cliff. I definitely neglect the second level on the right hand edge, but that's okay, I'll finish that later. But let's watch the end of this and then I'll come back to show you the final product. Alright, it's a bright sunny day here on Shady Pine. I'm just taking a look at how this looks on my map, and it looks really cute. Cute little blob. But let's take a look at the final product. Welcome to Shady Pine. I am really proud of myself for how this turned out. Again, I cannot stress enough that I'm rusty when it comes to builds. I have not built something in so long, and for me to do like a brand new theme was a bit of a challenge, but a fun challenge. I was really nervous, but in the end it turned out okay, and I'm really excited to continue this theme with the rest of my island. If you made it to the end, I thank you so much for watching. You are so cool and attractive and good looking and everything, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time for another build or a villager hunt or something like that. Thank you. Subscribe. Bye.